Well, ironically enough, 80 was the last of our 5-year straight. We actually could have won 6 straight, but Mark Goldschmidt had a broken collarbone, and I wouldn't play him in the state tournament. Otherwise, we'd have had 6 straight. Mark was a great player on a really good team. But 80, I felt were really, the guys gave it everything they had and got great results from it. And actually, while overachieving, they were a team that won the CYC tournament that nobody else has in the large school outside of the St. Louis area. Also beat a couple of teams that were state champions from outside of the St. Louis area, meaning Indiana, and we brought in teams from Chicago that were very good, former state champions. But it was a team where the pieces fit together. We had a superstar in David Fernandez, who is the most skillful player in the history of the program, a great young man who everybody is familiar with. He was a 4-year starter, would have been a 4-year All-State, etc. At least 3, but the 1 year he'd had a broken arm and still wound up playing some of the season anyway. Pop Markov, rushing, Eric Waltenberger, Donnie Cook. That was the comedy hour. Those guys were extremely, they were really contributed to a great team. In fact, beating St. Mary's in the CYC tournament was a big achievement. But we had some of them, like David, doing everything but airing up the ball. Donnie Cook actually had state tournament record of 2 goals in a state final. Buck Brewer was our main marker in the back. Robbie Mann played on that team, had transferred in from Collinsville, was very athletic, good scorer, good speed, very good in the air. Some of the other class group in there, Scott Greathouse, Jimmy Callahan, David Paz and Greg White were kind of a duo that worked together throughout the program. Whitey probably had, what I recall in Whitey, more intensity than any player we'd ever had. Not large in stature, but a great tackler, a winner of the ball, who could play many positions. David Paz was a complete player who I can't say enough about, who was really extremely easy to coach, a great attitude toward the game, toward his teammates, and toward life. Always interested in the other guys. They were really an overachieving team that we had a game, and that game was hard to beat. A close-knit group of unimposing athletes who were very good players, had good skill, had smarts. All of them have gone on to be very successful at the college level and in their careers. It was really a great group, as all of them are, to coach. Again, great attitude, great camaraderie, I thought they moved the ball as a unit quite well. Good skills and a lot of flexibility from the standpoint of moving them around at different positions. Very cooperative with one another. The nucleus of Mills, Heaton, Grody, Ryan Wilkinson, both Mike Lane, certainly. Johnny Van Buskirk was a young player on that team who was going to go on to become a great player. Vinnie Darnell, triadomitis we lost. He moved to San Diego, was a heck of a scorer and a gifted athlete. Vinnie Darnell wound up playing in Europe, was a heck of an athlete. High jump 6'9". Ricky Powell was a guy who wanted to come off the bench, and I can't think of a better player who came off the bench. Mike Seiler was a good, strong center back for us on that team. Danny Wilson was the kind of player that you really enjoy having because of his progress in the program. Matt Krekovich, who ran into one of my colleagues at Blackburn, Carl Clayton, and he was doing work for Carl and said, "Tell Coach Baker that you ran into the best goalie that he's ever had." That was Matt's sense of humor, but he was also a very good player. Yeah, 87, very interesting team with some youth that was going to go on to become great players.